My name's Nick. I was customer service for 1.5 years, but now I'm order fulfillment for suspension. And this is my 2011 F-150 Platinum. So what got me into building? I guess it's kind of a tough question. My family isn't into cars at all. I guess it's just one of those things that just came naturally to me. As soon as I was able to drive, I wanted a truck. And you know, you're looking up on the internet, watching YouTube videos, custom offsets. I'm young enough to where I was watching custom offsets videos in high school, and all I wanted to do was drive a lifted truck. Bought a lift kit for my 04 Ram 1500. You know, I built a couple trucks here and there between then. First vehicle, technically my first vehicle was an 04 Cadillac DeVille, but I didn't really do anything. That was kind of a hand-me-down. First vehicle I wanted, 04 Ram 1500. You know, I did buy a lift kit, 35s, 20x12s for it. I was a dumb teenager, so I kept blowing engines in that thing, putting new ones in. So bought the lift kit, blew an engine, sold the lift kit, put a new engine in. I just ended up with a leveling kit, 20x12s and 33s, but you know, that kind of sparked everything for me. Once I got rid of that, I got my 06 Ram 2500 Cummins with G56 trans manual. I had 22x12s and 33s for a while, but I wasn't a huge fan of the look on that truck, so I actually traded them for some 17x9s with 37s. Kind of just had a couple beater vehicles in between the Cummins and this one. This is by far the most I've went on a truck. Quite a bit done to this one. The other ones was kind of basic. It's a base 6.5-inch McGaughys kit, and I have that stretched up to 9 inches with Bilstein leveling struts. I have 24x14 ARKON Caesars in chrome. I was too impatient to wait for my bolt pattern because I really wanted to be one of the first people on this wheel, so I ended up getting some 2-inch adapters from Bora to go from 6x135 to 8x180. So I do have 2-inch spacers on here as well, and you know, if you look at my Instagram or anything, you'll notice it's an 8-lug F-150, which is pretty unique, I guess. Other things I have, I mean, there's like a Ready Lift Add-A-Leaf, BDS carrier bearing drop kit, just some shims. ARKON billet aluminum delta joint upper control arms. Morimoto XB series LED headlights. Those are probably one of my favorite pieces of the truck. And then I just have some like Amazon wheel rings and rock lights that are going to be put on soon. So future plans for the truck, it is a Wisconsin truck, so I do have a little bit of rust. Cab corners on these 12th gens are just prone to going out. So I want to get the rust fixed. That's October, that's actually happening. After that, I want to get a wrap. Hopefully I'm able to take apart the entire truck, redo the suspension. I want to go with some coilovers, don't know a brand yet. It's kind of hard to find stuff for this generation F-150 at this height. I wouldn't say any single person necessarily influenced me. Like I said, you know, I'm a little bit younger in the truck scene than most people. High school, middle school even, I was watching custom offsets videos. I would say that's probably my biggest inspiration for building a truck. You know, I lived 20 miles from custom offsets, and you know, that's all I did. You know, a couple years later, I work here, and it's great. McGaughys, you know, being one of them, they've been a huge help. Another one with the Bora spacers, you know, I did get a little bit of a deal on the Bora spacers after reaching out to them. ARKON control arms, I mean, those are some crazy expensive, awesome control arms, and they helped me out with the cost on that because they wanted to see it on this build. ARKON, they helped me out. It's one of the first sets of the chrome 24x14 on here. What do friends and family think about my build, or trucks in general? You know, at first they're kind of like, why would you do that? It's kind of unpractical. You're gonna get pulled over everywhere you go. I mean, I think they're still a little bit like that. They just don't really understand, but they support me 100%. They know it makes me happy. This is what I like to do. You know, building a career around it as well. So they're pretty supportive. What's my favorite part about building a truck? I'd probably say the actual truck scene as a whole. The truck scene itself is actually pretty competitive, but it's not at the same time. You know, everybody wants that biggest, baddest, cleanest truck, you know. Everybody's still really supportive. You know, you post on Instagram, you're gonna have a bunch of people, you know, that you end up making friends with. You know, I started posting on Instagram this truck You know, I've made actual friends across the country I've never met, but you know, I talk to them every day. You know, we're all still competing though. Everybody still wants the cleanest truck. It's just fun. You know, if you go to shows, you go hang out with other truck guys, you know, it's all the same. That would be my favorite part about building a truck for sure.